Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for a squat and deadlift day. And today I decided, since my shoulders are feeling healthy, my shoulder health is in a really good place, I'm like, let's go ahead and get back under the stiff bar. Again, got under there, not super happy with the technique. As you guys saw, and I went to 415. Again, I need to get my foot placement down perfect. I've got to work on getting those hips back just a little bit more, so that I can get just a little bit deeper. And again, you guys will notice a little bit of lateral instability on this set. Definitely could see it there. So again, I've got to work a little bit on cleaning that technique up. And I'll go ahead and work these back up. Again, I feel like I could squat 500 if I have to right now. So again, this 415 wasn't a challenging set. It's just that technically I've got to work on some things, right? I've got to work on some things. I've got to work on really getting those hips back so I can sink it a little deeper. I did check the footage and paused it for the screenshots. I'm actually deeper than it looks like on the view. But I do want to improve that. Okay, and I do need to work on that instability a little bit with the hips. So a lot of that is, again, getting those hips open, right? So I can externally rotate it. Definitely noticed it the worst on the right side there, but totally fixable. And no, we're not going to do Squat University's method. Let's go back down to the empty bar. Like, we don't need to do any of that. Just build it back up. You guys have seen me squat over 500 with my knees out in good positions from the front view in the past. Just going to work on it. But I haven't been squatting with that bar. So I need to get used to the bar again, and I can just maintain that bar position I'm using there. Seems fine for the shoulders. I mean, I could eventually work over to a wider grip and get it back into a low bar, and that may help with depth a little bit, but I need to ease back into it slowly. Again, I haven't been using it because did all that shoulder rehab and things, which has allowed my bench to come up, but I feel like my shoulders are in a good place for it. The deadlift, I'll talk about that a little more through this because I didn't quite get enough footage today to really get the length I wanted, because I didn't do many sets of good mornings. My low back was really, really fatigued. For some reason, the squats were really fatiguing on the low back. Again, probably just getting used to that bar again. So I didn't feel up to going real hard on good mornings. I just put 241 on the bar. That's because it's a 61-pound bar. 240 then. I did one set of 10, and I'm like, you know what, my back is really fatigued. We're going to call this today. And my hip felt really fatigued this morning when I woke up, that right hip. So that's also probably not a coincidence with that instability on the right side. I definitely felt like my groin was really fatigued. So, again, I didn't want to push all of that today. Let's just keep it moderate, keep moving forward, work on recovery. But I had a good training week last week. That deadlift last week was great. Okay, and I've got to just keep working on body composition at this point. I've got to get bigger, got to get leaner, just get more jacked, and the lifts will come along. But I am going to work on the back squats again. All right, but I'm only going to work on the back squat as a back squat. I'm not going to do supplemental stuff for it other than good mornings, which really will do the most for me at this point, because I'm just going to power squat like that. I'm going to go to a wide stance, and it's really going to be largely a lot of hip extension involved. Again, I'm okay with that. It's easier on my knees. I don't have to deal with a lot of those issues, even though I've been pretty good at Olympic squatting in the past. Again, I've hit decent numbers even Olympic squatting, or people call it high bar, but it really is Olympic. It's narrower stance. I would rather power squat. It's just easier. It's easier on my body. And I don't like squatting anymore. As I've gotten older, I just hate back squats. But I can power squat better. It feels easier on me. But it is going to be the issue of I'm going to have to work on that torso position, the hip position. I'm going to have to get back further so I can sink deep into it, get the hips open back up. And I feel like it won't take me long. I just need to work on it. A little bit of practice and keep pushing the good mornings. We'll be good to go. So again, I started noticing the hamstrings just got hammered on those glute ham raises. That third set, I didn't get the reps I wanted. I'm just like, I'm done. So I'm like, let's make up for it on the volume on the reverse hypers. So I went ahead and did 6 sets today. I've been doing, 5 is usually what I program, but some of these days I've done 3 and taken the reps a little higher. I'm like, let me just do 6 sets of 10. Again, get a good pump in my low back, get a stretch on all of that. Get some blood flow to it, because again, I'm noticing my lower back got extremely fatigued on those squats. I think to the point where that limited the deadlift today, limited my deadlift just a little bit. And of course, you guys can see my loose skin around my waist today. I'm not worried about it. We can see it, it's there. People want to hate on it, and I always remind people that's a sign that I've been through some stuff. I lost over 100 pounds of fat when I was younger, and again, that's one of those things where I've made videos explaining when people are like, oh, you should just get the surgery, of how terrible of an advice that is. Again, that's it. I'm done with lifting if that happens. There's no powerlifting, because I won't be able to squat and deadlift for 6 months. I guess I'd just become an upper body bro. I won't be able to train my legs. I had that surgery, so that's not really an option for me, right? Because I don't care enough about that stuff. You know what? I got a dad bod, and I'm not going to be aesthetic because I'm not going to get the surgery done on my waistline. Not going to happen. It's tighter than it used to be, though. So I think probably as I get leaner later again, it'll tighten up. I'm at a point right now, I feel like I'm getting leaner just trying to train in this heat, But again, I am going to keep working on getting more jacked, getting thicker up top. All the hypertrophy work is going to bring my bench up, But people have noticed, they're like, I do look a lot different now, shirtless than I used to, right? So I've made a lot of progress, even though that's not really my thing, because I really am about strength. But I do care about my health, and I do care about weight classes and all of that. So again, get a little bigger, get a little leaner. I think I'll continue to make good progress on that this year. All right, for the deadlifts, like I said, I was fatigued. The 6 reps felt like all I had today. But I got 8. I got 8 on Friday, which is on a deficit deadlift. That's pretty much a lifetime PR as far as I can think of. I might have hit something like that in my 20s at some point. I don't know. I can't remember. But I'm 100% sure that is a deficit deadlift rep PR on camera on social media. So I'll take it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.